I found myself staring at a half-empty pizza box at midnight, convinced that stuffing myself into a stupor was somehow okay, because in my head, I promised myself I was going to wake up at 5 a.m. the next day and crush cardio like never before. I lied to myself, claiming this last meal was necessary because tomorrow was the day everything was going to change. Total delusion. I wasn't clearing a path, I was intentionally sabotaging my foundation, so I'd have a fresh excuse to fail again tomorrow. What's worse is I was losing self-trust subconsciously by lying to myself. I was destroying my identity even more. I think somewhere deep down I knew it, but I choose to ignore it. I repeated this cycle until I became my whole identity. The way I was going, I wasn't just starting over, I was rehearsing failure. I didn't need a fresh start at the gym or another diet doomed to fail. I needed to start aligning my actions with the identity of the person I wanted to be. I wasn't lazy. If I were lazy, I wouldn't care enough to keep trying. My problem was becoming addicted to the dopamine hit of the fresh start, the rush that comes from starting something new. As an entrepreneur, I felt like a winner, but I was actually trapped in the perpetual beginner identity. I used to view my life like a house I was building. I'd spend weeks laying the foundation and framing the walls. Then on a random Tuesday, I'd accidentally break a window. Any sane person just replaces the glass, right? But not me. I see that one broken window and think, well, the house is ruined now. Better get a demolition permit and level that bitch so I can start fresh next month. Sounds insane, but that's exactly what you're doing when you turn one bad meal into a week-long bender just because you blew it one time. I'm not talking to you from a textbook. I'm talking to you from the wreckage of my own 100-pound weight gain cycle. I spent years losing 30 pounds, gaining back 20, losing it again. I was a professional at starting over. I was the king of the Monday morning reboot. I had all the information. I had all the macros, I had the calories, I had the plan. What I didn't have was the guts to be imperfect. I had to learn the hard way that a 10% deviation handled immediately results in a 90% success rate, while a reset results in a 0% success rate every single time. We need to kill a metaphor today. Most gurus tell you to get back on the wagon. What I'm telling you is that the wagon doesn't even exist. There is no wagon to fall off. There is only your life and the choices you're making right now. When you believe in the wagon, you give yourself permission to check out the moment things get difficult. You think you're off until some magical date in the future, but the clock never stops. You're always in the game of life, whether you're playing well or getting your ass kicked like a right-headed stepchild. You think the goal is a perfect record? No, it's not. The goal is a messy middle that never ends. I relate this to running a business. It's having to solve one problem after another. It can be exhausting, especially when you're new at it. But once you get good at it, the rewards can be great. And when shit hits the fan, you can't just abandon ship and start over. You need to stay and fight. You built something. You need to protect what you've built. Your body is no different. Every time you start over, you reset your identity to that of a beginner. You never allow the neural pathways of a consistent person to form properly because you keep cutting the wires. It's actually more productive to have a statistically bad week where you just show up for 10 minutes a day than it is to quit and try to have a perfect week later. Excellence isn't a clean slate. It's the refusal to stop when things get ugly. Think about your GPS. When you're driving into the city and you miss a turn, does that voice on the dashboard scream at you to drive all the way back to your house and start the trip over? No, of course not. It says recalculating. It takes your current flawed position and finds the best path forward right from where you are. This is the mentality you must adopt. You don't need a reset button. You need to learn how to recalculate. If you ate pizza for lunch, you don't start over Monday. You eat a healthy dinner at 6 p.m. tonight. You recalculated. The trip is still on. Here's how you execute this starting now. Step 1, delete the words tomorrow or Monday from your fitness vocabulary. They're just triggers for failure. Step 2, apply the 5-minute rule. If you feel like your day is ruined, just commit to 5 minutes of exercise. Just 5. This keeps the consistent person identity alive in your head. Step 3, Use the identity action filter. Forget about your monthly goals or even your weekly goals. Ask yourself, what would the person I want to be do in the next 60 seconds? Maybe it's putting on your shoes to go for a walk. Maybe it's choosing the steak over the fries. Systemize your choices. Stop looking for milestones and start looking for small victories. That is the only way you build a real momentum. Now remember, the goal here is to become someone new that requires new action. You have a choice to make right now. You can click off this video and tell yourself you'll start recalculating things on Monday, and in doing so, you'll prove that you're still addicted to the reset. Or you can accept the person you want to be starts with the choice you have to make 2 minutes from now. If you feel like you're done being a professional beginner, are you ready to stay in the messy middle until you win? I want you to leave a comment right now that says no more resets. Let that be your digital contract. Let's go. Do the right thing right now. Join the American Winning Machine. Subscribe. Leave me that comment.